innings. Well, last season, Cole led the majors with 257 strikeouts, setting a new Yankees franchise single-season record. But he also led the American League with 33 home runs allowed. That's why in Tampa, Cole told me he's both working on his fastball command and trying to get his cutter to be more consistent in order to keep more of his pitches inside the ballpark this season. It's all part of my one-on-one conversation with one of the smartest hurlers in the league who continues to search for greatness with hard work and the use of technology, which I noticed Cole utilizing in one of his first bullpen sessions of the spring.
You throw a pitch, it feels good, and then there's the computer that doesn't lie. There's the objectivity of it. Just the accumulation of all those throws, you know, over the course of the contract, over the course of the years, is going to give us a good baseline of information on how do we continue to maximize this past this contract into the late 30s and hopefully continue after that. How will the new pitch clock impact you? Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, all the rules are going to impact us. I mean, it's really going to be a different game than I've ever played before. I think it's going to be good, honestly. Like, you know, I'm really looking forward to how the game looks without the shifts, with the bigger bases, kind of geared towards more pace, more action. You know, Ron Guidry left the first meeting that we had about the new baseball rules and said, well, I'm going to be watching a little bit more baseball this year, and I think that's what we're looking for, really kind of across the board. So I'm excited for that. Out of interest, that's pretty cool. Hearing from that kind of a legend. I love during the season, the days you're not pitching, how much you talk to the other pitchers. Sometimes it's when they're, you know, especially Nestor, even when he's starting. What do you discuss in those game situations, whether they're starting or not? You know, what do you guys talk about? We try to keep it. You're always with the Reds. I always see you guys doing stuff. We try to keep it focused on the game. I mean, there are times when, you know, Nestor pulls us in maybe a different direction. But I'm not surprised. Really, a lot of it is just kind of back and forth in terms of, like, you kind of fall into routines with guys about kind of what you talk about, and you share your feelings and thoughts about where you are personally in your routine and in your season and what you're working on to get better. And then there's the game aspect of it, where, you know, we're playing people for 2, 3, 4 days. You know, somebody's start is coming up down the back end. What are we seeing? You know, little things that just kind of pop up that we notice that may be applicable. We just want to try to be as connected as we can so that we can, you know, have some synchrony between one guy to the next and continue to pitch better as this series develops. How much do you think about winning a World Series with the New York Yankees? I mean, it's what we prepare for every year. We know our fans are dying for us to do it, and so that's where all of our focus is. You know, within that, I think as a veteran, you kind of learn that, you know, you go step by step through these things. You know, in order to win a World Series, you want to get out of spring training healthy. In order to win a World Series, you want to be progressing and getting through the season healthy and give your best shot to get into the playoffs. You want to win your division. So there are goals and checkpoints along the way. A couple fun questions. Sure. I know you're a wine and food connoisseur. Absolutely. All right, so let's talk red or white. It doesn't matter as long as it's good, really. So what has been the best wine you've ever tasted, do you think, or one or two, and what kind? Some of the best Burgundies, which would be Pinot Noir grape out of France, are probably my all-time favorites, La Tâche, and then some of the grapes out of Italy, Macedo specifically. Lou Cucuzza is pretty famous for figuring that one out for me. And, you know, California also tends to lend itself to really great wines that are drinking young. You know, it's a great barbecue Cabernet or Merlot blend, and a lot of them seem to lend themselves to just drinking on their own and drinking with friends. You know, playing cards on the plane or having a glass in the afternoon, watching you know, your favorite TV show or hanging out with your favorite friends. And you're always reading up on it. How do you kind of? My dad's a sommelier, so, you know, I have inside information. I'm getting pings all the time, and I'm getting, you know, information on new vintages and old vintages. You know, but I also have just a network of friends that always just kind of like to share things as well. So I try to keep all my sources, all my sources kind of all over the map, and keep trying to add some as well. Okay, finally, is there a favorite restaurant you have in New York City that you've discovered over the last couple of years? Oh boy, I would say Anton's in the West Village, La Conda Verde in Greenwich Village. But Anton's like really elevated food, and they don't mind if my kid comes in and spills all over the floor or whatever. So that one's been working out for me really, really great. Yeah, absolutely.
Gerrit, thank you so much for your
Thanks
time.
for having me.
I love hearing about the food and wine too.
I love talking about it.
Well, Cole isn't the only ace in town. In fact, the Mets have two. And one took the mound today in the Mets home opener of Grapefruit League play. We'll head to Port St. Lucie, Florida next on Sports Extra, presented by Toyota.